know how this goes. You don't know. We live somewhere around 20 seconds to a cellar.
Let's slide in now so we can come and get your shit. Yeah, let's slide in now.
No, brother, cookies good as shit.
They good, right? And
we live,
I made it this morning. We live.
We live? All right, so.
You gotta do it right, though. You have to do it right.
I gotta do it right. Turn these down a little bit. Hope y'all ain't got no headaches. Yeah. Oh, shit! Goddamn in between, goddamn. Look who we got on set. You motherfuckers thought we was done at week 5, you fucking whores. That's not the case. We got Larry Lancaster and his manager, my family, Julie on set. Let's give him a hand clap. Come on.
It's a good thing I ain't a punk, because he would have scared the shit out of me. I'd have been, oh my God, punch barrels.
Yeah, that would be
Man. So, first of all, thank you so much for coming on, Julie. Thank you so much for facilitating this whole thing.
Welcome.
This is dope. This is history in the making shit. You know who's sitting on this couch? Nigga. Hey, light-skinned nigga.
Who are they?
What's wrong, nigga?
I just looked at it.
This BT, this soul train war.
You a brown skin.
Don't make me
light
laugh,
skin
nigga.
tendencies.
Right.
You just been to Barbados a few times. You like right.
Right. You want some?
Thank you so much for coming on, man. Of course, we brought you on today for your expertise in the field of stand-up comedian, comedy. But your life has been a culmination of many, many different things that led you to that point.
Yeah.
So we're gonna touch on that. How y'all feeling today, though?
Good, man. The energy is
How
good.
are you feeling? How was your weekend?
It was great, man. Great. Uneventful. I ain't doing a whole lot. I ain't had no gig. Yeah, sometimes when you do a lot of shit, uneventful is good when you just don't have to do nothing.
I believe it.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into it, man. As y'all know about this. Y'all even seen the clip I've told you. It's gonna get to the ratchet. But in the beginning, we got to start off with just a basic understanding of how we got to this point. So, how the fuck did you get to this point of being a stand-up comedian?
It's
you
actually
a funny kid when you was a kid, or
it's actually funny because it started out as a defense mechanism. A lot of people don't know this.
I've said that. Go ahead.
I grew up in the projects. Had a rough childhood. My mom was a paranoid schizophrenic.
Oh, okay.
She had mental illness. Yeah, so the kids used to tease me and crack on me, and then growing up, I ain't had all the fly shit, all the sneakers and designer jeans. This was the era before Jordans, like but motherfuckers was like just starting to get into the designer
like PF
jeans.
Flyers.
No, it was like top 10 Nikes.
Okay.
Shit like that.
Got it.
I'm a little older than y'all, so the thing was I didn't have all that stuff, so the kids used to crack on me. So I had to first learn how to crack on myself. Because then it was, self-deprecation.
Yeah.
Because then at least they weren't talking about me, and I could do it better than them.
And then you was cracking on them.
So then when they stopped, I'm like, oh, I'm sizing these motherfuckers up. And then I start cracking on them. So it got to a point where nobody wanted to fuck with me on that joke.
Yeah. You have anybody try to fight you from that?
Oh, all the time. So I also had to learn how to fight. As a
just like Nick.
This is exactly scary.
Because back in the day, you get a cat, you get the best of them. Then it's like, but I can fight though. That was always the last thing they would say.
Of course.
So then it was like, well, join the fucking Marines if you can fight. Like I'm trying to crack jokes. But where I grew up, you had that, like that was survival.
Right.
So you had to learn how different strategies to survive. One was joking, and the other one was you had to learn how to fight. Like I'm not a natural fighter.
Right.
I'm a nice, generous person, but you get your ass kicked so many times, you learn.
You learn how to respect it real fast.
Yeah.
It's definitely some parallels with that, and we've talked about that on air, and you know me personally. People always, I'd rather shit on myself before I let you shit on me, takes away the venom, and I always use that as an alternative to fighting. Right. I remember back in the day almost getting jumped and joking my way out of it.
Right. I could never joke my way out of it.
I joked my way out of getting jumped. And then we got cool. Now that
might get my ass whooped more.
But then, when you were able to flip that switch so much, you go from joking to the fighting, even if you lost, they gave you respect because they knew you wanted to pump.
Yeah, times was different back then because guys used to, people used to square up, they would fight. There's normally somebody you knew. Y'all playing around the neighborhood, somebody get mad, whatever. We was all hood street kids. Right. So we would fight and then go back to playing. And it wasn't really the gunplay. This was kind of before the drug trade really took off.
Right.
So cats was still like nobody had money.
It's all about hands back then.
Everybody was just, we was little poor, dirty street kids. So we would fight play, and get back together, fight, play, and that was the thing. And then at some point when the crack hit and the drug trade got, cats started making money, then cats started buying guns, and then they no longer fought, or if they did fight, somebody came back and shot up the play. Like, so at some point it changed.
Yeah, you can't fight now.
Yeah. So.
Now ain't no fighting.
It so now they don't even get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't fight. This motherfucker stay trying to volunteer my fight. That shit just put up.
We was talking about that shit last night.
Niggas didn't agree to it. They ain't agree to that. I throw in the jail. They throwing a knife in my throat.
Especially once cats know that you can fight.
They like, what you fight with you?
No, once they know you can fight, they don't want to fight.
Yeah, they don't want to
at
fight
all. I wouldn't fight.
So they'll shoot you right off the break now.
Yeah, real talk. Well, look, it sounds good that you saying, and that Nick saying like, oh, I used to get bullied, so now I want to be a comedian.
Nobody said you used to get bullied.
That's kind of what you said.
But back then we didn't even use that word.
Yeah,
like, that's some new shit. That was like
people.
That was par for the course. Like what we call bullying now was like, yo, you had to figure this shit out. You had to figure out what was going on. Like your parents didn't come up to school and was like, they bullying my son. They was like, they would be like, look,
they send your ass back outside.
You get a fucking bottle or you get a stick and you get the one with the biggest mouth and you bust them in the goddamn head and the rest of them will leave you alone. Like that's how we came up.
That's crazy.
So
Can you imagine that?
Now you know we weren't bullied. What's your question?
Well, now I know you guys were bullied. It just was called something completely different.
Right. It was. We didn't have that campaign and shit. Now they would have a meeting and fucking what they call
your mom go to a PTA meeting.
Mediators and shit. Yeah. So we came up in a different time.
So I was under the impression like people want to be funny. Dudes want to be funny because they know it impresses women, and you can make a girl laugh. You can make her do anything.
Right.
Like, was any of that back then, or you was telling jokes before you was even like?
No, for me, I told jokes for survival. So the last thing on my mind was like, oh, I'm gonna impress this chick. And so when I see cats do it, and a lot of comics do it, like you see cats walk up to a girl that they would never, under normal circumstances, even approach.
Right.
So I always say, I don't do comedy to get pussy. I get pussy to do comedy.
Oh,
that's what I say.
You get pussy to do comedy.
Right. So I take my relationship things and things that's happened to me on the way, and I take that on the stage.
Yeah.
I don't take what I say off stage to get pussy.
You develop that line like while talking to a girl?
No, it's
this ain't for us.
Right. People, I'm a slick talker, so I talk a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's part of who I am as a person. And again, it came from that defense mechanism where if you say something to me, my mind works at a certain speed where I always got a quick comeback for you.
Now, how did that translate for the decades you spent in the correctional facility area? Now, by this time, you still haven't started your career in stand-up comedy, but you've nurtured these skills through a lifetime of using it as a defense mechanism and actually getting good at it. How did you know you still had something even in those years? Like, was there ever a time when you had to use that in your job?
Yeah. What happened is my life experiences overlapped. Mm-hmm. And through all those overlapping life experiences, comedy was always at the forefront. Mm. So first, when I was a kid, growing up in the projects, I developed that. It turned started out as a defense mechanism, developed into a skill. So after I, got through that, learned how to fight, then I became the cool kid. I went through that little awkward phase where I was the homely kid and shit. Then I became the cool kid. And that actually happened from beating up my childhood buddy.
And you became the cool kid from beating him up?
Yeah. I never forget this. My man Marcus Gilliam. Yeah. Right? Marcus was like one of those big kids. He was big for his age. Mm-hmm. You used to always hear kids talk about Marcus, like, you grow up with a kid in the neighborhood and you start hearing the war stories like, he hit a nigga and knock on shit out his eye. And as a kid, you hear that shit. Yeah. You fuck like, I don't want on shit to come on my eye. That's just not even possible. But as a child, you don't know better. So, literally people said this.
No, that's a literal thing somebody said about you?
Yeah, they said, like, I actually heard somebody say, yo, he had a nigga out the new pool, knock on shit out his eye, And so, all you thinking is like, you ain't thinking like, yo, that's some bullshit. You like, well, I don't want to fuck with Marcus because I want whatever's orange in my eye to stay in there.
Stay there.
So Marcus, now he really did bully me.
Okay.
So at one point I got tired of this shit. This went on for months. I'm talking to this girl named Tanya Jones. Tanya Jones is like the most beautiful girl in the class.
Yeah.
Real nice, sweet girl. So I'm trying to talk to her. I'm nervous. I don't have my confidence at this point. But she's one of those girls that's so nice. She makes you feel more comfortable talking to her.
Damn.
So I'm rapping to her. I'm getting somewhere. I'm like, yo, I'm actually talking to her. Here come Marcus.
This big hating bitch ass nigga.
We was all in the same class. So
what grade was this?
This was like in the 3rd grade, but it seemed like we were adults. We was fucking kids.
That shit wild.
But we grew up so fast. So it was like Marcus came and was like, shut up, Pop. Don't say nothing. I mean, he whores me till no end. So she like, leave him alone, you know, and I put my head down. It was like we was on some silverback gorilla shit. So the alpha male came and I was on some, you know, I ain't want to look him in the eye.
Yeah.
So I was saying to my mama, get this motherfucker. I don't know how, I don't know when. Mm-hmm. So one day we go in the bathroom. He did something to me. And I said, meet me in the bathroom. So we go in the bathroom. So, you know, back then they used to give the kids bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
So we all go in the bathroom. So all the kids.
Everybody standing around y'all.
It seemed like it was 100 miles. Mind you, in context, it's a 3rd grade.
Right, it's 3rd grade. Taking tickets at the door.
You know, it's like, so all the kids like, yo, they gonna fight in the bath. So we go in the bathroom. So Marcus threw a punch, a duck, knocked the fuck out of Marcus. So me and that bitch rumbling, right? So I'm handling Marcus.
Yeah.
I actually whip him.
You whipped his ass.
I'm surprised as I'm doing it. I'm like, I'm actually beating this motherfucker. Nobody fucked with me again after that. Yeah. And then because Marcus was such a bully, everybody else was like, yo, you the shit. Like, I was like, right.
You
so
got
I was like, I was the giant killer.
When you're on Friday.
So come to find out, Marcus had a real fucked up childhood. And this just goes to show you how you never know what somebody's struggling. Right. Marcus wore the freshest shit to school all the time. So I'm thinking Marcus hood rich. Come to find out, Marcus' parents were drug addicts and they used to boost. Mm-hmm. So they would steal clothes for Marcus. It wasn't that he was rich. They just would support that habit. And while doing that, they would buy him school clothes. So Marcus became a street kid, drug dealer, all that. And me and Marcus became like
y'all cool
over the years. He's dead.
Oh, shit.
Because he started getting high. He would get clean, get high again, get clean. And then he started robbing drug dealers. Mm. And the last time I heard, he tried to rob a drug dealer on Pennsylvania Avenue, and the cat got the jump on him and killed him. Mm-hmm. And so one of our other best friends, Michael, called me and was like, Marcus is no longer with us, you know, and told me the story. So that just goes to show. And so then after school, I went to the military. They nicknamed me the Joker because I was always telling jokes and cracking jokes and shit. Then after the military, I got out, joined corrections, which I never thought I would be a corrections officer, but I wanted to get married to the young lady I met in the military, and I needed a job. That was the first place that called me. And so I did that. I worked at the penitentiary for 3 years, the roughest place you could ever work in, with murderers, rapists, drug...
Central Bookings?
No, it's worse than Central Booking. That's where the life is death row inmates go and all that shit. Then I was there for 3 years. Then I went out to Baltimore County. I was there for 10 years. And while out there, that's when I actually started doing comedy. One night, me and a guy I worked with named Paul Tenson. Tenson is no longer with us.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old are you?
You better stay away
from I'm actually 49.
Okay.
So
damn, I ain't call that.
Yeah. So the man Tenson riding around down Fells Point on a Tuesday night. We was looking for something to do, and we see these girls going to Latin Palace. So we following the chicks like,
right there.
Oh shit, let's see where they going. So we go in there. It's two guys outside: Stacy Carver, Jay Phillips. I'm thinking they two young drug dealers who bought the club. They was actually the comics who was having a comedy night that night. So they like, come on in, guys, you know, because they had a slow night.
Yeah.
So they outside trying to get people to come in. I go in, they go on stage as the host. So I'm like, oh shit, they not all these niggas, the comedians.
Right.
It was the best show I had ever seen. And so it was only like 10, 15 people there. And I don't know if you ever been to the Latin Palace. It was a big, like, Miami-style club inside. It kind of reminded you of the club. Remember the shootout scene in
Scarface?
In Scarface, where they had palm trees and shit. So the spot was like that. So it was Stacy Carver. They still doing comedy now. Jay Phillips, who moved out to L.A., he's doing TV, screen, movies, commercials, all that stuff. So these were the guys who brought me in, my OGs.
Yeah.
And so the show was so nice and intimate. I walked up to him after the show and was like, look, man, people been telling me I'm funny all my life. I want to make people feel like y'all made me feel that.
Yeah.
How I get started. They was like, you in luck.
Get
Here's these 5 tickets.
Oh shit!
Sell these 5 tickets at $10 a piece.
That'll be you right there.
Right.
Nigga, even if you was trash, sell these tickets.
Because once you get in the car, you also learn the business aspect. You get pimped a few times. So they really want to pimp me. They was just saying that this is your. This will be your
what's up, man?
What they call it, registration fee.
Okay.
We have an open mic contest in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Come back, get on stage, and that's how you get started. So I went back to the jail.
Yeah.
Told all my co-workers that I've been cracking on for years. They like, oh, we gonna come and support you. Motherfucker, you better be funny.
Yeah.
So how many people came? I got 30, 40 deep.
Damn.
Oh, wild ass, and I don't know if y'all know, correctional officers wild as shit. Like
they have to be.
They fight, they get drunk, and they'll whip anybody. So they wild, right? Yeah. So they come with me. We got his back. I go up. I do 7 minutes. Supposed to do 7 minutes. Now I'm competing against motherfuckers juggling monkeys, people singing. You know what I mean? So it ain't just.
It had to be a crackhead up here. It's Baltimore.
It's a variety show. So
Baltimore's got talent.
Right.
Niggas selling soap and all that.
So I go up, I do 7 minutes of dick jokes, because that's all the fuck I knew. I was real immature as a comedian.
They gave you 7 minutes too?
Actually, I did 12, because I was only supposed to do 7. So in comedy, when you first start, when they want you to cut your time, they give you the light. I was so new, I ain't know what's.
Oh shit!
So you can't
go. Give me the light for 5 minutes. He like, yo, they telling me I'm doing good.
Right? They think I'm being disrespectful. I'm like, yo, I'm thinking the nigga taking pictures of some shit. I don't know what he's doing with the light. So we doing
the fuck, yo? Did you make it?
Hey, you know you got that one.
I was already waiting.
We're at Palace. We can't make sure we lose the store. We gotta let the nigga in.
Hey, look, hold on.
You know what I'm saying? What you got? Kids, nigga?
They got all these swole motherfuckers. What's up, man?
How you, man? I'm alright. About to
What's up, man?
Look, I almost can't see you jumped a little bit. Yeah. Oh, you slippery ass nigga. Look at this damn face. Look at he mad. Now because you spilled it. Because you spilled it. Not because of the floor. It's just slippery, nigga.
It's all in your speakers.
All right, so back to Latin Palace.
Okay. So I do 12 minutes of dick material. And I win. I get a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Hold
on, you won the first one?
I won.
That shit wild.
I feel like this whole time you've been talking, I've been seeing 2 things, right? One, you took a path where you became a stand-up comedian. The other one, where you took a path, you became a UFC fighter. If there was 2 dudes standing out there with a win inside Latin Palace and it was a boxing ring in the middle,
yeah,
and you had fun,
but that's what it's like.
Would you?
That's what it's like.
Yeah.
It's like you're facing your fears. Even though you love it, most people never face their fears. They run from them.
They don't.
So every night, they say public speaking is...
Yeah, it's like top 3.
Oh, that's top 1.
They say it's 1.
It might be above
even more than death.
Wow.
So that means a motherfucker would rather be in a casket than to get a eulogy.
In peace. Like, man, I ain't talking to nobody, though.
So they like, a motherfucker rather be in the casket than to be the preacher giving the eulogy. That's how much people afraid of public speaking.
Everybody's watching.
So I face that every time, and I'm nervous.
Do you feel like you were good the first one? Like if you go back and you look at that, or if you think back to it.
I was good, but it's levels. So it's just like when you're a fighter, you might win, but you look back and was like, damn, if I was fighting somebody better, I'd have got fucked up.
Oh, okay.
So it's a transition.
Gotcha.
So it's like you learn, I was cussing a lot. I was, like I say, I was doing dick material. Now I can go and do an hour in the church.
No dick material?
One curse word. Do it because you got to say it for them. You got to say the dick material first. So, so it's one of those things where you can see, like I watch myself. Every time I watch myself, I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Like, we are our own worst critics.
Yeah.
I don't even like really watching myself. It's very seldom where I listen and be like, oh, I killed him.
Right.
I'm always looking for something I did wrong.
Which keeps you sharp.
Yeah, it keeps me sharp.
If you had the opposite attitude,
it keeps me humble.
Stagnant, same jokes.
Yeah, I'm always nervous every time I hit the stage. Before I hit the stage, it's like you get that nervous energy.
It's a different kind of nervous, though, probably. Like, some nerves will like fuck your shit up, and then some will just make you like rise to whatever.
But what it is it's the same nerves. It's what you do with it. So that's the difference between fighters. You know what I mean? Professional athletes, like they get the same butterflies. They get, but some people get paralyzed by it. As whereas you use it to motivate you. So that makes you come out even harder.
Sure.
So a lot of times when I'm feeling my most afraid, instead of succumbing to that, it actually makes me work harder to overcome it. Like, well, fuck these motherfuckers. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna get it.
And worst case scenarios, you still live.
Right.
It ain't like you died. It ain't like you in World War II.
But to a comic, not getting laughs is the same.
But I thought you have to bomb like 100 times before you become good, right?
Well,
like bombing is thought of as good.
Well, it's a different process for everybody. I haven't bombed. I can honestly say I haven't bombed 100 times. I was kind of spoiled because, as I said, my first time on stage, I got a standing ovation. Now it has happened, and it's like the fucking worst feeling. And you relive it over and over again. But the more professional you become, the more you like, okay, I've killed 100 times. I got killed 2 or 3 times. So you kind of get the averages, and by that time, hopefully you got enough confidence. But yeah, there are people.
Would you rather bomb on stage or bomb like in the bedroom? You trying like smash
in the bedroom? You want motherfucker? This thing want to get my
You really like this girl. You really like this girl. You trying to smash? You trying to show your ass? You want to give her your A game?
Let me tell you something, son. I take the bombing in the bed.
Goddamn right.
And here's why.
You a liar.
I can take a nap and regroup and wake up. You know what I mean? Like, baby, let me just take a nap and then lay your ass
the second way, I'm gonna get back.
But on stage, you might have to wait. Motherfucker might not let you come back. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that nigga was ass. Like, so yeah, it's like you said, it's only one person. So it's definitely a difference.
Let me fast forward a little bit because we also have Julie, who is your manager right now.
Yes. And one of my closest friends, my little buddy right here. She's a sweetheart.
Workout extraordinary.
Top 5 dead or alive finest women in Baltimore. We ain't gonna go there with that.
Y'all know
that's my family, motherfucker. So you better watch how you slide the DMs.
I'm trying to get Julie to take something for the team so we can take this shit to the next level.
Damn, bro.
She won't do it.
We got to cut you off, fam. All right, real quick. So I want to touch on your experience, how you met him, why you decided to be a part of his thing, and y'all working together. But the first time I met all of y'all, as far as in this arena, those comedy tickets you gave my mama, my daddy, my wife right now, myself.
Wow.
So is it the Senator? What's that one?
Like the Senator when we did the Jokes and Jazz?
Yes. So my family of recovering addicts, alcoholics, any age you can put, they've done that shit. Right? Any age you can think of. Crackheads, all that shit. So we go out, supposed to be a civilized evening, right? The fucking title got jazz in it. You don't go nowhere and not be jazzy. My daddy got on an Easter suit. We gonna talk about that real quick, right?
Yes.
We gonna talk about that real quick. My mother, dog, Steve Harvey Easter suit. Like the long joint. Listen, I'm gonna get you. I ain't gonna make this long. 6-button suit. Bro, my father 5'7". His suit was 5'8". That's what I'm telling you. So we sit in the audience, right? And I know my family, but like they promised me, I got this is my wife, who's not my wife. This is my lady. She don't know none of this shit.
Right.
My family, cool. She sitting in there.
Your family actually put the show on because it was
my God.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We sitting down. This is when Wendy Williams went for the shit, right? How you doing? I don't know if it's gonna come back. You tap me when it come back to you. So we in the audience. My mother drunk as a motherfucking nigga. I'm talking about drunk. And she keep going. I'm talking about heckling. How you doing? Every time this man would make a joke. Yo, how y'all doing ladies tonight? That was great. Yeah, but how you doing? In the first 4, she got like, oh, that was funny. And you started lighting her ass up. He said, who drunk bitches is right here? Somebody get that drunk bitch. My father was in the seat like this, nigga. Oh, shit. I'm lowering him. I'm on the ground and shit like, fuck this. He talked about his Easter suit. He said, man. My father got up because he was getting embarrassed because he didn't show my mother. Yeah. So he got up, and that's when the spotlight. I feel like you got to put out your own spotlight. And he said, look at this nigga with this Easter suit ass on. And I'm like, I'm right next to the nigga. And I'm like, this dog. So I want to talk about, number one, how do you deal with hecklers outside of destroying my family? We tried the whole night. But then, what do you see in him to even, like, to be a part of, like, I want to manage this guy. I feel like he has potential and stuff.
You know what? The first time I met Larry, I went to a comedy show. No, sure. And I never met him. I heard this person who used to be on 92Q in the morning. It was a character, Gerard. Yeah. Oh, shit. I did not know that was him. Like, I'm expecting a crackhead little guy. And so I went to this comedy show, and they said Larry Lancaster was performing. Didn't know who he was. We were at Chibo's, and they had a circle stage. And some of the seats, you were behind the comedian. So the whole time, I'm watching this person from behind. I never even saw his face. But while he's performing, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. And I was like,
undeniable.
It's something, yes, this guy has it. Whatever it is, he has it. Now, I'm just a regular person. Like, I wasn't a manager or anybody. Right. I didn't know, I just went called with my girlfriends. And afterwards, he came over and we talked a little bit. We exchanged numbers. And
you thought you
so you tried to book him? You said
I was about to say you thought
you didn't try to book him. You tried to book him.
No, I think what happened. She said she knew Monique,
right?
And she knew Monique. She was like, I know some people. You're not gonna make a few calls. That's how it started.
Okay. Right. And
because you're
a
really
family BET thing. So all the connections and all the stuff. So he was like, after we talked a couple times, he's like, I would like you to be my manager, and I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
What the fuck that is, right?
I was like, well, what is it that you would like? And he said, I wanna perform on huge stages like the Lyric, what's the other theater down? The
Maya Hall,
Maya Hall,
Murphy Fine Arts.
All these perform on live in front of huge audiences. I want to move to LA because at that time he was like, I'm gonna move to LA. I'm gonna make it out there, and he was like, I just want to make a living at this. This is what I want to do. And he was like, if you trust me, like, we've made a pact. Like, I trust you with my life because this is what he was doing. He said, people will always be giving you, promising you stuff. They'll never do nothing for you. If I trust you with my life, you can trust me with yours. I made a contract. Everything that he said he wanted, I said, I'm going to get that for you.
Nice.
This was it was summertime. By October, we had Mike. I had a friend that worked at the radio station, and I was telling him about him. So he was like, okay, I got a show coming up. Mike Epps is performing, and we need somebody on the show.
Everybody know what Mike Epps is? No, I don't know who that is. All right, go Google.
And at this time, they had a comedy night at
the Hampton.
Melba's.
Yeah, at Melba's.
Melba's. Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
So what we did when we had comics come up, we were like, we having a contest to see who would like to open for Mike Epps. So every week for 3 weeks, we had people come up and perform, and then we narrowed it down on the last night. We picked 2 or 3 to perform.
Well, actually, it was supposed to be one person.
Supposed to be one, right?
And Mike Epps actually fucking showed up.
Right, we didn't tell them Mike Epps came to Melbourne.
He shit myself. He picked 3 people.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's how we ended up having.
So he picked the 3.
Wow.
He
picked
because it was
Eric and Pumpkin,
and there was one more person I can't remember.
Right. That's tight.
Anyway, but Mike Epps come walking in Melbourne. So everybody's like, Mike Epps, running back,
But some kind of way, they must have knew he was coming because I don't know how they knew because it was packed like I never saw.
Well, probably the staff because we had to let them know because
we had this shit. We didn't advertise it.
Right.
We didn't, and we always had a nice crowd, but you could tell these motherfuckers.
This is
outrageous.
Word of mouth was a motherfucker, man.
So it was like that.
Who's funnier, Mike Epps or Kevin Hart?
That's hard.
I think they're funny.
I don't really like to compare like that because
Kevin Hart not funny like that, yo.
That's exactly why I'm asking this.
Or is he not funny?
You know how many people I had this conversation with?
Actor.
You know how many people I had this conversation with that say Kevin Hart the funniest comedian?
Or shit is lit. Or we can listen to the stand-up comedian. Go ahead.
I mean, everybody's opinion is valid, and that's the thing about comedy. You like what you like. Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing about it. Expert opinion doesn't really mean a whole lot because you know who the fuck you like. Yeah. You know what makes you laugh. So that's what it is. And it's not like these niggas compete against each other like a fighter.
It is. It's competition. It's got to be. They talk shit back and forth to each other.
But that's just the other shit. When you step on stage, you by yourself. Yeah. You want to say, it ain't like you competing with a motherfucker and one nigga walked out the ring. So it's people make that comparison, but it's not the same. What it is, I'm going to tell you, Sam Kinison put it back.
Yeah.
Legend. He said comedy is a rainbow and you lucky if you have a shade. So that's what comedy is.
That's tight.
You try to get your own shade. Fuck competing against somebody. Yeah. I'm going to be funny, my funny.
Yeah, you got to compete against
yourself. And I think when you start doing that competition shit, it ain't like basketball or football. It's a one-man sport. So Kevin Hart can have his show, have his people come see him. Mike Epps have his show, have his people come see him. It's enough for everybody to make it not like, but I can't do this until this nigga gone. Yeah. And that's the misconception, and that's why you had these beefs where it don't have to be beefs. Both of y'all niggas eat.
I think that goes across the spectrum.
Both of y'all winning. You know what I mean? So I like Kevin Hart, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like I hear a lot of people say they don't like Kevin Hart, and I'm like, who are all these people when this nigga filling up stadiums?
Right. And if you ever go to his show, have you ever gone to one of his live shows? He's phenomenal.
All right.
Like,
First of all,
Kevin Hart is.
First of all, Kevin is one of the nicest people I ever met.
Yes, he is.
He's so nice. Like, no, he's really nice.
Right.
And his whole little crew.
So he's a real gracious, nice, humble person. So when you meet him, you like, okay, I want this nigga to be successful.
You want him to win.
Right. You know, sometimes you meet people, you like bitch. I get into that. So there's some motherfuckers I met like that.
But we're not debating if he's nice or not.
No, I'm
debating.
No, I'm saying. Now, I'm going to tell you why he's funny. I like him. He gets to the point, like, fuck all that shit. Fuck this bullshit. That's the road. So, the reason I like Kevin Hart, first of all, it's very difficult to do what he's doing. Commercially, professionally, he's taking comedy where no one has taken it, which is difficult because when so many people have seen you, you kind of start like, all right, nigga, damn, we heard that before. So he making smart moves. He got a good team. He got good writers. He's staying with fresh material.
Very true.
People seeing him a lot. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people seeing him, but they're not seeing the same shit. And for him to be that prolific. Now, the other thing, for him to be funny the way he's being funny, he ain't going out doing 30 minutes of dick material. I fucked the bitch in the ass till her tongue came out of the mouth and all that. He doing family shit. And black people generally don't really like that shit kind of stuff. So he's like Cosby with mixed with Martin. So for him to take that path, and he's been able to cross over without trying to cross over.
Well, so I don't know if I can agree with that last. Everything else you're saying is I agree with 100%. Right?
What you mean?
But I think he is trying to cross over. I think he and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like how Drake said, I didn't go pop. I rapped and it went pop. Like
sometimes what happens debatable. It's not that you cross over. Sometimes you get so big that the white people start crossing over to you. Yeah. And that's what's happened. That's what I mean when I say, I'm not saying he hasn't crossed over, but it's more, he's staying where he's been doing. And then now the motherfuckers start to come over to him.
Okay.
He's attracted everything to him.
Right. It's just like every famous black comedian.
Because if you look at his material, he hasn't really changed anything he's done.
Yeah.
So when you do now, here's the difference when I say you cross. Now you come out like Boys the Men. That first album, strictly good R&B.
Right.
Then next thing you know, on Bended Knee and all this other shit, they crossed over. Because they got one song, the shit was a huge success, so them niggas like, well, let's keep doing that. Instead of what they was doing. Motown Philly was a good R&B album, but then they start with all the begging and crying. That's the difference between crossing over.
But it makes you pussy, man.
Because their material changed to reach a certain audience.
Yeah,
his material hasn't changed to target a certain audience. It's just that the
audience came.
Now, Mike Epps, funny ass comic. The first time I saw Mike Epps, the back of my head was hurt. And I wasn't even doing comedy then. Mike Epps is good because Mike comes across as a more natural comic. Like Mike seemed like the type of dude that you just want to hang out with and like a real silly, crazy. So that was the first time me seeing like, yo, that's a class clown being a professional comedian.
Who did it, who merged the two things.
Right. So it was different when you watch Mike. You like, Mike reminds you the nigga that sat beside you in class and had you laughing all day.
You got in trouble.
And you got in trouble. So he has that likability, that accessibility where you like, yo, he just seemed like a regular nigga, like, and he not like that. When I met him, he was just like that.
Yeah, back to our story, like when he came,
right
after we did the show that night, he came to the little club, Eden's Lounge, whatever it's called. He was in that back when I was taking pictures.
Like Malva's is a fucking hood club.
Oh yeah,
right? This nigga walks in with no entourage, no bodyguard, nothing, just that motherfuckers, and he came in like Day, like and people was responding to him like that. So he the type of nigga you like, yo, let's go smoke, like he that type of person, right?
How you deal with hecklers?
Okay, so hecklers.
Maybe your first time. Let's go back to the first time you thought you had the material right. He was dressed, and you got this motherfucker that just will not let you get your jokes off.
No, I always ate hecklers the fuck up.
Woo!
Because first of all, that's how I started doing comedy.
Reminding you of y'all
Eating niggas up around the neighborhood. They
Yeah,
nothing but hecklers.
If you want to.
You walk down the street, you think you got a slick ass outfit on, and a nigga say something about your shit. That's a heckler. So you eat his ass up. You make him pay for it. So growing up, when you grow up in the hood, niggas is funny in the hood.
Yeah, they got to.
Because they have to do it because
Japan.
that's how right. The same shit that make people cry, make hood niggas laugh. They find some type of comedy in it because if they dwell in what really happened, they couldn't function. So the first time I got ate up by a heckler, I was doing this spot called Courtney's. And Courtney's was a rough room. It was a good room if you was a professional, but I wasn't experienced. And the first time I did Courtney's, I did well because I didn't have enough insight to be afraid of it. So then after that, I started doing it. I would drink. That's why I had good discipline and good habits to this day. I drank a couple drinks. And y'all know this. After a while, if you wait too long, you start coming down.
Yeah.
Because alcohol really is a depressant. So I stepped on stage. I went on later than I thought I was going to go on. So now I'm like damn near sleepy. I go on stage like that. And my performance is like that.
Yeah. This
lady said some shit.
Got him warmed up. This is my mother.
And I couldn't really. She had one of them voices that you can hear her. She was like, motherfucker.
It just cut through the audience and shit.
So I ain't really had no comeback. So I called her a monkey face bitch.
That's a comeback.
I'm so glad you didn't call me a monkey face bitch.
Here's what she said. See how y'all laughing?
Yeah.
The next thing you heard was, that's the funniest shit you said all night.
She came back right.
She came back like, yeah. So now, my man Stacy Carver, my OG that brought me in, it was his room. So they like, all right, boy, Wonder, it ain't your night. So they get me off the stage. Now I'm on the side with my head down. Still got my traveling correctional officers going everywhere I go. So they all there, loud, drinking and shit. I got my head down because I'm embarrassed. They loud talking. Stacy on the mic like, Larry, come on, man. I'm like, yo, I ain't saying shit. It's these niggas, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
Nigga, I know you. These your people. Tell them shut the fuck up. So the chick's still on. That's right.
Oh, she's still on you, even though you off the stage.
I'm off the stage.
So
when he said, Larry, like, can you chill? Y'all chill out. This what this bitch said. That's right. We listen to your corny ass all night. She
needs some dick. God damn.
Now I'm like, bitch, I don't know how I'm doing. Then I'm like, yo, but take him outside. You know what I mean? So I got fucking kicked out the goddamn club. Because of this bitch.
Please tell me you fucked them out. You ain't never like.
So this the funny part. She was with a girlfriend years later. I'm Larry Lancaster, like I'm the shit now. And the girl say, I was at Courtney's with my girlfriend when you cussed her ass out, call her monkey face bitch.
Oh my
She's like, I'm so glad to see you still doing it and that you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I said, if you ever see her, tell her I'm sorry.
And she's still a monkey.
And I buy her a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. She's still a monkey.
I never saw her, but I ran into her friend a couple times. But yeah, you can get handled by a heckler.
Oh yeah.
You can get. But that, first of all, let me say this. There are different types of comics. Not everybody can handle hecklers.
Right.
You got cats that's natural and that can be in the moment and crack. Then you got motherfuckers who just master they set.
Let me tell my set. Yeah.
Right. And so anything outside of that kind of fucks with it. Not everybody. People think that.
Some people just throw their hecklers out. Right?
Yeah. But see, that's the kind of club you working at. That's a good point because some of the spots we in, you your own security. You
it was that spot over by the hotel where the dude was fighting on stage with him. It was a while ago, man.
He was trying to
all that shit.
That wasn't at the Comedy Factory. That was somewhere down south.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that goes to show you like the security should have been on top of that shit. Now I've been in places where motherfuckers look at you like, well, you should be able to handle that. Like,
no, bitch, I'm here to tell jokes.
That's not my job. Is to handle that. I remember one time I was at the Comedy Factory. This one, it was on Light Street. Y'all remember when it was over top of Bruce? I'm killing. So this lady, another chick, yells out some shit. So I'm like, by this time I'm experienced. And I'm like, I was so good at devouring hecklers that I would warn you multiple times. Because I've handled so many people viciously that I've started riots, fights, and shit. So now I'm on something, I ain't even trying to get into that. Because once I get you, you ain't going to be able to take it. So I'm like, ma'am, can you please be quiet? I'm here to tell jokes. I ain't here to fuck with you. I remember that. She keep going. So she keep going. So now the crowd like, get up. You know when niggas start yelling out, get up.
Gotta get it in.
I give her one more warning. Then I fucking dissect her ass.
Yeah.
Her son stands up. This nigga every bit of 6'4". Close to 300. And I mean, not no fat sloppy 300. Like, it take everybody in this motherfucker to throw him out 300. He stands up. Yo, don't be disrespecting my motherfucking mother, yo. So I'm like, big fella, check this out. Your mother disrespected me. And if you ain't want me to light her ass up, you should have told her to shut the fuck up so I ain't had to. Now in my heart, I'm scared. I can't let this nigga see me scared.
No, you can't.
So he start walking towards the stage, right? So I got the base of the mic stand. So I'm like, when he get to the foot of the stage, I'm going to take the base of the mic stand and stamp his motherfucking ass right in his forehead. And then I'm running out this bitch. Like, fast. You see the strategy? How the nigga had like, all right, I'm going to do this, this nigga, I'm going to do. I saw myself running out the back door. I got hit.
Marine shit.
So, but luckily, security had jumped on him and was like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, shit, you know, and they took him on the outside. And he came back in calm or whatever. So then I had to readdress the crowd. Like, listen, guys, I don't like humiliating people. That's not why I'm here. I was up here telling jokes and doing material. But if you're gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you back, and I'm gonna fuck with you better than you can fuck with me because I'm the professional.
And I got the mic.
You're not gonna win. So sometimes I gotta let the audience. On stage, I'm attempt to be black belt. Now what happens outside of here? That's up to fate. Right. You're not winning. So then they settled back down, and I went on with my show.
So I got, it's a two-part question right before we go into our topics. First of all, I heard all of the stuff. I was listening to everything on the way here. Yeah, on the way here. I didn't even want to walk in and be honest with you. I was like, damn, sorry about your friend Marcus too.
Yeah.
I call nigga bitch ass nigga. I'm like, all that shit, nigga died. You like nigga dead.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to the memorial. Put some flowers on his face.
So, you know, to hear about your experiences growing up and everything like that and whatnot. So I totally commend you, salute you and all that. Now, as far as like growing up, the two-part is, if you had a style of comparison to a comedian, who would you say you would probably most likely be in comparison to?
You said, say Chris Rock.
No, I'm just thinking like...
Because I do cover politics, but not to the degree that he does.
Oh, he does.
I would say more like a early Mark.
Okay.
More natural, more conversational, relationship based. You know, that Mark.
So, as far as like, now going into
with a splash of Eddie Murphy, because I got a little sex appeal.
Which is funny because I'm actually with the leather suits.
Yeah, I wear leather suits.
That's what made me start like in comedy when I saw Eddie Murphy.
Eddie was the first.
Delirious was is definitely one of my favorite stand-up comedy joints. So as far as that is concerned, who is the comedian that you say inspires you the most? As far as that goes.
Outside of the OG,
Well, the thing is, it's funny because when I'm asked this question, of course they're the people that we know, but most of the time it's guys you never heard of.
Right.
Guys who are just as funny, maybe even funnier, but just didn't get
that platform.
Yeah. So it's a guy named Joe Recker. Joe Recker passed.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Funny as shit. I mean, this guy, like, you ever hear a guy where, like, you can hear his jokes over and over again, and you wait for him.
Laugh at him every time.
You like, oh, here comes this bit right here. Some motherfuckers, you like, oh, he about to do this joke again, but he got the kind of jokes that were timeless.
And he didn't cuss.
No, he didn't.
He didn't cuss.
You wouldn't even know. That's the other thing about some comics.
You wouldn't think that he didn't cuss?
They so good that you don't notice they didn't cuss till that somebody brought it to your attention.
That's crazy.
That's a good comedian.
So you like, yo, you notice he ain't cuss. You be like, you know what he did? He like that. It's a sister named Michelle Foreman, who's great, doesn't curse. You don't notice she ain't cursing. Sean Salvis. Hamburger. Y'all ever heard of Hamburger?
No.
He used to be on a Comicview, and he would wear a cowboy hat, and he would say Hamburger.
Oh no, yeah. I know the joke.
He said when he wanted to stop cursing, he used it as a substitute for his curse word. Hamburger.
And turn that into a bit.
That's right. So he would say hamburger instead of saying motherfucker or whatever. Tony Woods. Freddie Ricks, one of my favorites. Gerald Kelly.
Oh yeah.
These cats Rob Stapleton, Jay Phillips, wanted to get like just effortlessly funny guys. Like, dang, you like how motherfucker that funny without trying. It just seemed like they just go up there. You know, some motherfuckers be all over the stage, like on there, Jay, the energy like earthquake, and they really funny guy. But then some motherfuckers just go out there and just be like almost like
Patrice O'Neal.
He another.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot of guys that inspire me because before I actually started doing comedy, I was a student of comedy. I love Carlin, George Carlin, one of my favorites.
Carlin, great.
Lenny Bruce, who was basically like the white Richard Pryor before Richard Pryor. Of course, Richard, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin. I used to, I used to look at the white comics too because I just liked comedy, period. And now, since I've been doing comedy professionally, I don't even watch comics.
Really?
That's the only part about comedy that I don't like because I don't want to be subconsciously influenced by something they said.
That makes sense.
You end up fucking stealing.
People steal in other countries like crazy from U.S. comics.
Yo, niggas steal in other cities.
Right.
For real? I didn't know that.
Be doing your material.
I know Canadian comics be taking the shit out of
That's why
US
I don't
jokes.
like people record. That's why a lot of cats don't like motherfuckers recording.
Yeah.
Because somebody will sit there, do your whole fucking set, and put it on Facebook. Now some nigga in Arkansas that you never been in the same room with doing your joke. And
You should be able to get money from that though.
But it's how you copyright.
So, right. So I'm walking through the audience.
It's not like a song.
He's still recording.
You know what I mean? It's really difficult to kind of like, and it's sometimes it's like we kind of police each other, but then it's like, well, who did it first?
Right.
True.
Who's to say? And then now people do it where, well, such and such did it on TV, but I know a nigga was doing it 5 years before he was doing it on TV. So now it's like whoever makes it to TV, that's what joke it is.
Yes.
You know, so you can be like, say like you the hot comic right now. You blowing up, you shouting out stadiums, right? So you say, all right, I need a couple writers to write some material for me. So you get these two niggas. Y'all niggas, they come to you and say, yo, we joke writers. Nigga, $2,000 a joke. You got a special coming up. You need it.
Damn.
All right. They go to the local comedy club. Don't nobody know these niggas. They just sitting there. I'm on stage killing them, right? They hear about 15, 20 minutes of my shit and like, oh, that shit nice. Take it back to you, right?
I didn't know about that.
You don't
Or they can sell
You don't give a fuck where they got it from.
Right.
And who's to say you that nigga that Larry Lancaster stole from you?
Or
That's what people gonna say when you do your HBO special. Oh, he doing such and such shit. No, nigga, that's my shit. That these two niggas that ain't nobody know was in the room who actually was writers stole from you. So it's like you got all this type of shit that be going on.
that's crazy.
Oh, I know somebody
Hustle
who's
inside the hustle.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, of course. But
Carlos
he's,
Mencia was a big thing.
That's one of the ones
Dave
you
is
say.
one of the ones you that ain't worth saying. It's
Yeah,
like when
true.
you say Michael Jordan, like you ain't even gotta say that.
Your favorite player.
I try to give people credit who don't really get it. Because the
Very
other
true.
motherfuckers, you know, they gonna be okay whether I mention their name.
Right.
You ready to hit the cup, man? You think you've been nervous before?
Let's get shout out to our sponsor real quick.
Oh, okay.
Sponsor.
So what's the cup? What is that?
It's where we
That's
put
the fucking
questions
cup.
from people who watch the
Fans
show.
of the show.
Oh, cool,
And
cool,
some
cool.
shit that might be off the cuff for us.
I hope I answered your question, bro.
No,
you did.
Dope interview so
Yeah,
far.
thank you.
Dope
Thank
interview.
you so far. You don't call it an interview.
Because my stream of consciousness
Yeah, stop calling it an interview.
goes off. And, you know
No,
what I
you
mean?
did great.
Yeah.
You did great. You made us
I'll
better.
always take the scenic route to shit.
No, we like
Hey,
that.
look, that's how. Look, my
That-
father-in-law does the same thing.
That's what happened when you-
sitting there like,
Or you a cheater. That's what happened when you've been a chronic player. Just ask you one straight question, you tell her
You give it a
every
long.
fucking...
Well, let's rewind back to my
Nigga, I ain't asked you that.
Who's sponsor
So,
y'all?
all right, shout out to the sponsor, withlove.bbea.
Oh, shit.
Hand poured soy wax fragrance scented. Make sure y'all check that out.
I see a woman behind this shit.
And she
right
puts
here.
the date on it.
Oh, yeah,
She put the date.
Somebody, old lady, sell candles.
Got the little dates
now
in
they
the
sponsoring
inside,
the
little
show.
facts
It's Nick
about it.
Satrick.
So
shit smell good though.
What if my side chick? Make it one side chick.
Hey, look, make sure
his wife obviously don't watch the podcast.
No, she watching. She gonna dig in my ass.
So look, that's the other thing.
He the funny man, bitch. You ain't funny.
you ain't funny, bitch. You ain't comedian, motherfucker. Oh, you know what?
No,
motherfucker.
Hold on, what? Don't do no weird
trying
shit.
to get this motherfucker to do comedy for a long time.
He's actually funny. I've been listening.
It's funny, yeah.
The way he tells stories and shit.
So if we wanted to rally behind this,
I'm gonna make this real hard easy for you. And most of the time, this scare people because they be expecting all these obstacles. Bring them down to the place. Thursday night, I'll put them up.
December 27th.
Thursday night.
Yeah, I want to go. I'm good.
I had to set it up, my nigga.
You can help yourself out.
I'm gonna need some help from my OG. I don't know about no fucking
Hey,
joke.
look,
You got several tickets?
You ain't got several tickets.
right before.
Just bring some people with you. You know what I mean? They pay $5, whatever.
So look, now it's a pack, okay?
Place lounge.
As you do that set, he gotta bring that off day shit.
Yeah, bitch. Fuck, nigga. Cause he a designer.
Y'all gotta shake on it. If he do it, you gotta do it.
All right, we'll do
Show
it.
him the
I'm
gotta
gonna tell you something. He's an artist. He's not living up to his potential.
Fuck no. Fuck
Exactly.
And you, as funny as you are, you running for good. Let me tell you something. Don't overwhelm yourself and don't compare yourself to the comics that you see. That's years for them to get there.
Right.
Everybody's
So
starting
10
like
years
you.
to be an overnight success, right?
Just do 3 minutes. Start out with 3 minutes. See, we watch motherfuckers on TV like, I can't never get to that level. No, nigga, not the way you are now. But it's just like you go in the gym. If you watch the nigga that's been lifting weights for 20 years, you like, yo, I ain't gonna never get them. But that nigga wasn't like that when he started.
Yeah.
He had to go through the process. So you gotta go through the process.
Y'all gotta shake on that before we leave today too. So
Yeah.
You might have a sweaty motherfucker.
27, motherfucker.
Cause when I came up like, yo, this nigga did this shit. I'm looking at the plates, you know.
That's all him. Got me excited on this motherfucker.
Cause I'm an artist too. I can see it.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, before you jump in the cup, we do have one of our preferred watchers, Jade, sending her questions. So before we get to the random,
okay.
I want to ask her first. She has a Never Going Hungry campaign. She's a second annual giving back to the homeless.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Give it up for her, man.
music, clothes, make them feel good.
I always love people who look out for other people, man.
Black woman doing the thing.
Out of the cup of it is what it is. Well, from the,
So I just dig in the cup and do I?
That phone out.
Do I do it or y'all do it?
Don't steal Marvin's job.
Okay.
Big job, man. Big job.
big job.
So that's
All right. So Larry Lancaster, when you first started out, if the crowd didn't laugh at your jokes, what gave you the courage to keep going?
Great question.
That's a great question because I actually mentor a lot of younger comics, and I tell them it's not what you do when they laugh, it's what you do when they don't. Sometimes it's a couple strategies. You gotta go through your material, eat that dick, and then go back to the drawing board after the show is over and try to figure out what you did wrong. Or sometimes it just ain't your night. Like it don't matter what you do.
Yeah.
You can do the same material, get a stand ovation, go back another time, do the same material, and motherfuckers boo you.
Right.
Sometimes you don't need to do anything. Just get through your set, do your time, get your reps in, and get the fuck out the gym. Some other times you need to abandon that shit and just speak to the audience on some, look, this shit ain't working. You know what I mean? and speak to the heart with your own fun. Not the material that you mastered, but sometimes I just step out of that shit and just improv with them.
Yeah.
And connect with them. Because sometimes you don't know it because you done the routine so many times. You just going through the motions. Sometimes you need to throw that shit away and be like, look, fuck this speech. Look, this is what I got to say to y'all. And they connect with you and they laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Good answer.
Thank you, Jade. Brown Flamingo.
Brown Flamingo.
That's what I mean. All right. So should people be more aware of the term self-accountable or accountable for their own actions?
You want to start this one?
That sounds like the same shit.
Well, I mean,
Read it again.
should people be more aware of the term self-accountable? Like, as far as like when people try to blame everything on other people or in different situations, they don't hold themselves accountable.
Oh no, I'm a big encourager of self accountability, because I also mentor young people and stuff. And so, and I've had to come to grips with that shit myself. Like, that's a very hard thing to do. And it's easy sometimes to make excuses, because once you do that, you don't have to look inward to see what the fuck you need to do. And sometimes you ain't ready to face what you need to do to make shit happen. Right. So yeah, I'm real big on being self-accountable. Yeah, so I think we need more of that in life. I think the world would be a better place.
What you said, Julie?
And I try to practice it. Because a lot of times when you say you want to work on something,
you just talk.
God will put some shit on you where you actually got to see what you're going to do. I'm in traffic, I done fucked up, switch lanes, ain't see the motherfucker, he honked the horn. What the fuck is you doing? You know, throw the hand up, my bad, son.
Yeah. That's all I need is the hand. Just give me a hand.
Nah, nigga, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you get in defense mode instead of realizing, yo, I fucked
up. I'm sorry.
Right, I kind of cut that dude off.
Right. And that shit just happened.
How you feel about
really, I was taking some. The funny part was I work in the high school mentoring kids, right? So I'm going in my car, and these kids were like, Mr. Lancaster, can you give us a ride to the bus stop? First I'm like, hell no, I put your motherfucker. But they end up getting in the car. I take them to, and the same thing happened as I was pulling out. I cut this dude off. I ain't even see the motherfucker. And he, like, I think he was like Middle Eastern. You know, the motherfuckers go hard. Bam, he holding on. Then he goes around me and cuts me off. So I just said, my bad, son. You know, because I'm setting this example for the kids.
Right. Yeah, smart.
Gotcha.
Any examples for you, Julie?
I did that to a police officer.
What about even a relationship where maybe you being his manager and something not going through the way it should have or how you planned it? And I guess to keep that relationship tight and cohesive, we're saying, okay, this is where maybe we messed up.
She put up with so much of my shit. I just can't say.
I do.
She ain't even fake.
No, but seriously, this
because I'm an artist and I know I ain't easy.
And both my kids are artists, so I know how they are.
Shout out my man Jay.
This man is one of the most intelligent people that I know. One of the funniest people that I know. I respect him, so I put up with him. You know, I love.
I'm real temperamental. Sometimes she'll be like, I think we should be like, I ain't doing that shit.
Right, and I'll be like, well,
fuck that.
We ain't doing it.
And then she'll call me, ask me about the same type of situation.
But
another day, and I'm like, all right, that's a good one.
But here's the thing.
It's nuances.
If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So.
But sometimes it's nuanced though, and sometimes I don't think Julie get that it's not the same situation. It may seem like it. Like, I'm trying to give him an example. One time you tried to book me. Oh, I know what it was. The BT shit, the warm-ups.
Oh, okay. So, like, before the show comes on, you know, they have a comedian out there.
Right.
Before it goes on air, and they're out there wrangling the audience. So.
They booked me to do it one time.
We did
it'd be great exposure. It was the Hip Hop Awards. And they was honoring fucking Busta Rhymes, Chuck D, all these. So first I got to do the BT red carpet where they all come in, you interview them. You know what I mean? Hey Chuck, what y'all got going on? All this shit is an honor, you know what I mean? And so you do all that with all the rappers that come through. Rick Ross, Nicki Minaj, you name it, they all there, right? Then after you do the red carpet, you go in and you do the warm-ups. This is the part y'all don't see. Every award show has a warm-up comedian. So they go out, tell jokes, and get the audience laughing and get them in a good mood. So when the hosts come out, they already warmed up. I don't know this shit. This is my first time seeing it. So I go on stage like a regular fucking comic trying to tell jokes. Niggas walking there. I'm looking at Chuck D and fucking Ice Cube talking and shit. They ain't paying attention. What the fuck I'm saying? Hey, niggas. You know, so they are, but I didn't understand the process. So I'm up there trying to tell, and they don't want you to curse. They don't want you to do this. The owner, the CEO of BET sitting right there, Deborah Lee.
Yeah.
Looking at me like this. Get his ass off. I'm looking at the Carver, right? What the fuck is he? So I'm watching these motherfuckers. Then I watch other comics do it. What they do is they go out in the crowd and they crowd with it. So I realized, okay, my approach was
a different thing.
I should have been out there talking to them, getting it. You know what I mean? But I'm going up there doing regular stand-up while motherfuckers coming in and sitting down. So that was, again, experience. And I tell young comics this all the time. sometimes the motherfucker ain't funnier than you. They just more experienced. You in that situation. So you can't never like, yo, these niggas funnier than me. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of our own greatness. Because we're afraid of what we can do. Yeah.
And he didn't want to do it in the first place, so I talked him into it. So I'm backstage like melting.
Like, oh my
he's
God.
like,
He's burning up right now.
He paid me $1,000 for 7 minutes.
He's like, well,
7 minutes.
And I'm at the BET. I'm at the hip hop.
Oh, say it again. $1,000 for 7 minutes.
For 7
Hey, when y'all
minutes.
ready to work,
What do they have to
let
keep
me know
us
how I
back
feel.
there?
Hotel and
God
damn!
And I was like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Come on, let's
guess
do it.
what?
Well, look, you did your thing.
But guess what? I was like, fuck that $1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I went out there and didn't help my brain.
Right.
So I ain't even care. I was like, yo, they can take that shit. I'll never do it again. Even though I understood I fucked up kind of.
Oh, you ain't take $1,000?
No,
He said,
what I'm saying is, to a comedian who loved the laugh, I'd rather have the laughs.
Okay.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I would have traded the $1,000 for the laughs.
Right.
Some
And your brain,
motherfuckers like
and
that,
enhancement of
because
your
now
brain.
everybody who saw me, if they ever remembered that shit, was like, yo, this nigga wasn't funny.
Right.
So to me, that's worth more than the $1,000.
Right.
And you can't buy $1,000 of good publicity.
Right.
So
versus you make
Yeah, but isn't all publicity good publicity? And like,
No, that's one thing I had to learn.
That's my point. And that's what I've been trying to tell her.
Episode in.
It is, but it's also some
You know what
context to
though?
it.
And here's
You gotta be funny.
okay, let's say this. It's publicity and then there's exposure. Publicity may be good no matter what, because now people know who you are. But the exposure, that may not always be good.
Remember Kramer with the nigga jokes?
Right.
That's not, it was talked about everywhere.
Yeah, that ain't
but
good.
you don't want to be known for
Right.
the white nigga on stage talking about nigga.
Unless you're getting booked by a fucking white supremacist.
Yeah, then it works out.
Then it's okay. Right. So sometimes you could always spin it, but a lot of times it depends on what your goal is. So if you just want to be famous or you want to be infamous.
True.
You want to be right or you want to be effective.
Oh, shit.
And they're not the same thing.
I have another, you can ask another question, but I wanted to tell them about the situation when the first time you went to LA.
Please do.
I have a friend that lived in LA, so he set up a showcase. That was actually Monique's brother. He set up a showcase for Larry. His first time going, so he on the Hollywood Walk of Fame taking pictures with Spider-Man. You know, so we set up a show at the comedy. Were we at the Comedy Store? Comedy Factory.
I forgot it's one of them legendary.
Yeah, store.
And you know, had all these producers and directors come out and see him. And afterwards, like he had some other people perform, but afterwards, then we set up meetings to go to, like during that time that we were there. And so the experience of going to the meetings was, tell them about the what happens in LA.
The shit crazy because they'll set these meetings up with you, right? And so you go in a meeting, and it'd be a cat that's like you never saw before. You don't know this motherfucker. But this nigga might be worth $100 million. He the real people in Hollywood that's got the power. You don't know who they are. You've never seen these people before, and they're real unassuming. So we go into this meeting with this guy. You know, he a little feminine, right?
He touched you?
No.
He touched I thought that's what it was going.
And this was before all that Me Too
shit. Right, exactly.
So you go in there, and it's like the funny part of it is.
He touched you.
He gonna jump right to the rape shit. So did he touch your dog?
I'm gonna be like Terry Crews.
Yeah, nigga, grab my butt cheek.
I'm a big strong man. Grab my balls and let me stop because I don't want to ever run into Terry Crews.
That's still a big motherfucker right here.
He'll fuck me up and won't fuck the nigga grab his dick.
You mad at me with a nigga that grab the ball?
Yo, I ain't looking at you nigga. I'm just saying I liked you in fucking Fridays and shit. So the thing is, you sit in there, they show them your clips or whatever, and then the motherfucker be like, all right, so tell me about yourself. And so you look in the office, right? It's all these little young, fresh face, you know, lower like could be gay motherfuckers in there.
Yeah.
It's like
twinks.
It's under undertone. Like,
yes.
You don't see no women.
Nope.
Right? Oh, wow. Just little young, good-looking white boys walking around doing
no facial
work
hair.
going in file cabinets and
That's crazy.
No mustaches, no goatees. You know what I mean? No lost tribe of Shabazz type shit going on in there.
Wow.
You just looking at these motherfuckers, right? And you don't really pay attention to it until you out of this shit.
Yeah.
And so the motherfucker might be like, so basically what they want you to do is sell yourself. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not, because that's the last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking, I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I mean, I'm funny, I can act, I can do this, I can do that, so, what's up? Can we work together? That shit.
Right.
It's like the motherfuckers don't actually really approach you. Because sometimes they don't feel your energy, so they want you to do it. Motherfucker, what you?
That's crazy.
Yeah, remember we met with Cole Black, and then you see like all these films like that. We could have done that.
But he was big then, but now he. But I don't think he was coming from that.
You should have sucked. Larry, let suck your dick, Larry. Yo, bougie ass.
This is the thing.
Should put your dick out.
A lot of times in that setting, they don't say come
we
to
could
you.
be famous.
All right, if you something.
Right. Take one for the
They
team.
just put you in a situation to see how bad you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't like that at all. That's
so they don't say nothing to you out the way or whatever, unless
Just
you're
so
giving them that
like
energy.
they kind of feel
They
you
just
out.
be feeling you out,
Yep.
You could have flirted with him.
They let me out the hallway.
He said you could have gave him a little something. Come about your top butt like a little man. I'm just here talking about business and shit.
I look at it that way too, but I also look at it as I just wasn't ready too. It might not even been that element of it, but you don't know.
Yeah.
It could have just been I wasn't ready.
Right. It was the first time.
It was the first time.
His first time going to
I'm
LA.
sitting there on some laid back shit, like I'm thinking the dude who got us in gonna vouch for me.
Right.
You really got to
We
vouch
weren't
for
even there.
yourself.
Like we did it
Right.
for us.
So it's like sometimes it's like an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
You ever heard motherfuckers say that?
Yeah.
You got 30 seconds to give this
Give it to me.
fucking invest in you.
Give it to me.
And some motherfuckers is good at that, where they like, I like this kid, I want to see more.
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers might be like, all right, nigga, fuck all that. At least you gonna suck this dick. Like, you don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying everybody in Hollywood does that or has to do
But
it.
75%.
But a lot of it goes on. Because when you say everybody, that's kind of saying some motherfuckers ain't work hard and they ain't talented.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you get to a certain point, everybody is.
Ain't no old
grandmother. How do certain people get picked?
That's true. If everybody,
You got a million motherfuckers that's talented, a million motherfuckers that's good looking, a million motherfuckers that's charismatic, but you only got 10 slots. Who's gonna
you
get
take
it?
the most talented,
LA,
charismatic
like,
people
So
out of
then you
everywhere
gotta
in the
start
country
coming
and
up
put them
with
in
shit
LA.
to disqualify motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Who can suck the dick the best?
And even when you go
Let's start there first.
And it ain't even really about the sucking of the dick. It's about the power. And what are you willing to do? That's really what it's about.
It's kind of scary, y'all. It is.
Because they can pay a much better dick sucking than you if that's what they really want.
True.
It's about how bad you want this.
Yeah.
Going all in.
You talking about some Illuminati shit? Is that what you trying to say?
That sounds like the Illuminati.
Some Illuminati? Are you illuminated? As Rick Ross said?
Oh, Lord.
I say
It's illuminated.
So,
Next question. We got another question. What we got?
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of questions.
all that shit is
All right,
because
we're
you
gonna
know
have
them
to
niggas
wrap it
Masons.
Oh, of course.
That's
Yeah,
why
we
they
rapid fire
talking
some
that
of
shit.
Some of them rapid fire. Yeah.
All right, what do you do if your friend's date is flirting with you?
So this
Start
is
with
my
Steve.
question.
Start with Steve.
This is my question.
And when you say friend, do you mean like
I wrote this
buddy
question.
or
Y'all
your
niggas
girlfriend?
be outing each other.
I'm gonna give you some context. This
No,
it's terrible. Oh, this podcast is terrible.
Context, and I'll see if I can answer.
This is how it go. You out and about, you at a party, right? And you meet, you come to my party.
Yeah.
And whoever I'm talking to, this ain't my girl, my wife that I'm talking to, she come in, hey Steve, everybody, this is whatever the fucking name is. From there on in the party, she laughing at all your jokes. She fucking like giving you a little shoulder touch, like, yo, you were so funny.
Yeah.
You move to the other side of the party, here come this bitch. How do you react to that? When you, as a single man, you know I could bang.
How would Steve react to it?
No, I mean if that's it depends.
Do you want to tell your mans?
It depends.
Do you kind of milk it? Do you play with it a little bit for your ego, or do you just step back like, nah, bitch?
Nah, to me it depends on the level of friendship. Like if I kind of know you, like I see
Oh,
you
so he's a social. You fucking his girl.
If I see you a few places, but I don't really know you,
You gonna
it's
fuck
like,
his girl? Let's get to it. You gonna fuck his girl?
Yo, Meek said it.
Not necessarily.
You gonna suck a titty?
You gonna
finger pop?
Not necessarily.
You gonna finger pop?
We need a female perspective now.
Oh yeah. Listen. Let's give it to Larry. But start with you.
These fries so motherfucking
somebody they are.
I can tell because y'all was fucking the fries up when I was
they were warm. They were warm.
You ain't get them when they was warm, son.
Yeah. So people do that. Like they come and they like the guy. Like somebody, one of my friends, or
Julie get fucking hit on all the time.
She's totally fine.
It's crazy, yo.
I was gonna hit on Julie in the gym that day.
No, I ain't fucking Julie. Real quick. My cousin come to the gym and work out. Can I keep it real or half real?
Keep it real.
Keep it real?
Yeah.
Nigga, white people say keep it real.
I'm sorry.
Keep it real?
Apologies later, yo.
Listen, now same age, y'all keep it real, all right? So we at the gym working out.
First of all, the whole gym is on your ass. Oh, hey, who that? That's my cousin. Get the fuck back.
I'm worried about my
She got a fat ass, and I'm like, that's my motherfucking cousin. Fall back. So he don't know that's my cousin. He said, yo, who that chick you working out with? I'm like, I don't think I even told you. I let him kind of hang himself a little bit.
Oh, you did. Nigga did. Nigga throw the fish right out.
That's my sister. That's my sister.
Let's see where you want to go with that shit.
Basically, you would love. They appreciated you coming there, especially any kind of leg workouts you did. They appreciate it.
But back to the subject at hand.
Next training session. Sorry.
I just said I'm coming back to you.
So you in the club. Let's say boom. Your man's bring his girl to your show. Ain't his girl, but it's date for the night.
That's terrible.
And she on you though. You can feel it. As men, we know. Like, oh, this bitch is a little too play. What do you do to navigate that space?
It happens to him all the time too.
I'm glad Julie said it because I didn't want to sound like that nigga. Like, yo, but this shit happens all the time.
This just be all the time and shit.
Because you know I'm on some sex symbol shit. It happens, and it's really I don't like it.
You know?
Because first of all, it's messy. It's disrespectful. I had some bad situations where it's like, bitch, I don't want to deal with this nigga. I gotta fight him now because you don't know your place. I had women come to the show. They want to date. You know, oh, you was funny, and they hold on to your hand and all shit.
Yeah,
that was long drawn out hand, right?
Dude got his hand in the small of her back, like, come on, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, nigga, you was funny. Bitch, get in the car.
Yeah, nigga, you was funny.
So it's like, what I do is I turn the attention to the dude.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Thank you, brother. Appreciate y'all for coming. Like, cause I don't want that bullshit. You know?
He's an asshole.
It's true though. That's also the thing.
And then even about stepping your game up, yo. Some women they got wandering eyes the same way men do. I've seen dudes with their chick, and it was like, I don't give a fuck if I was Eve's hour. This bitch won't pay me no mind.
Yeah.
And that's the time. You know,
that's what you like.
She with her man.
She can fans out all she wants.
She don't need no energy, right? So you got women like that. Like when I'm with somebody, I'm out with a motherfucker. I ain't gonna embarrass him. I ain't gonna say. So that's the type of woman I appreciate. Then you got chicks like, if this nigga wasn't here, I could fuck her. You know what I mean?
If he goes to the bathroom, you can fuck him.
So as a man, I've been with both type of women.
Of course.
So when I see the shit on the flip side, I'm relating as the man. Like, I don't like it. Because the same way you do that to him, eventually you'll do the shit to me.
Meek said that too. He said, if you could fuck my girl or take my girl, he just said on just the album. I salute you. Right? So at the end of the day, as dudes, we gotta be like, if my girl wandering eyes, then thank you for pointing that out.
It also depends on the level of
friendship. Right.
So if it's a dude I know, like we ain't gotta be best buds, but if I know the dude, it's like, nah, I don't even want that trouble. Or it's like, I don't know this nigga. You know what I mean? Shit.
Or it's like,
nigga, you know the rules.
Tell you, man.
You know the rules out here.
I throw the ball back in their court. I'll be like, like they say something to me, I'll be like, well, let me ask so-and-so, whatever your girlfriend name is. Let's ask her. I can contact her and have her call me, and I could do that.
I remember I was talking to this chick, and she had a boyfriend, whatever. So she was like, so you ain't gonna take my boyfriend seriously? I was like, I'm gonna take him as seriously as you fucking take him.
That's pretty savage, yo.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Well, you don't respect what you ain't
It definitely has to depend on the level of friendship between you and the other person, and then.
But I didn't know the guy. She was just, you know what I mean. She was trying to do whatever she was doing.
True shit.
But I guess she wanted to see how I was going to carry.
Well, I was there. And
for the most part, it's just not even a good situation to be in because it's just messy. It's too much bullshit. And the older you get, the less you want to be involved in that shit.
All right, we got rapid fire these next couple.
Pussy rate by occupation.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Yo, look at his face, yo. Look at his face.
And you got a good track. You came from corruption pussy to comedian pussy. So,
and actually, I didn't write this question. Kristen wrote this one.
Oh, wow.
So, rank pussy rate by occupation. Comedian, underwear model, chef, personal trainer, dog walker.
and her reason for saying dog was like dog walker. She's like, yeah, if you walk around with dogs, girls love dogs. They're going to flock to you. So you going...
Here's how my mind was working. I'm thinking, if the chick got the job, how good is the pussy?
Right.
But y'all saying how good. Basically, you saying how much pussy can you get if you got?
Yes,
because I was on a whole nother level. Like every female, they was some freak bitches. I ain't never had no dog on the pussy.
They gotta be patient. They gotta be patient. You know what I mean?
That's the chick that nurture. Like,
she rubbing your head.
I'm like, that's the chick that's
a good boy. You a good boy.
The dog walker pussy is the one that wipe your balls at.
Yeah.
You laying on the bed with your legs up, and she go out
wipe the sperm on the sheets. All right, so okay, let's talk about comedian pussy first. How good is comedian pussy? It gotta be.
It's pretty good. And only I say this because I seen cats who look like fucking Forrest Whitaker.
Lazy out, no lazy out.
The
old lazy.
With the corky things like back and the motherfucking the droopy eyes.
Yeah, the wink.
Like the eye half mask, all that.
Is comedian pussy better than personal trainer pussy though?
No, it can't be.
No.
It can't be.
No. It's a couple things that can never be beat. Musician, DJ, the singer fall under that.
Yeah.
Personal trainer, because first of all, you catching the motherfucker when they at their lowest self-esteem. You done open bitches through that. So you catch a bitch when she at low fat. You at the height. You like a motherfucker. You basically catch her at the caterpillar phase, and then you done molded her to the butterfly.
And she paid you.
Butterfly pussy. And you got paid for.
And you got paid for. You basically brought her. The trainer look good. Right. So basically, Mom, let's see why you doing that, nigga. Here's my personal trainer pussy. I'ma work my way up to be able to be in this nigga's league, and I'ma pay him for the transfer.
Damn.
That's heavy, ain't it?
That is.
I want to give him the pussy now, but I ain't on that level. Look at this nigga, he doing nipple crunches and shit.
Your mama be doing nipple crunches.
And then you know, personal trainers, they do that little sexual harassment shit.
They do.
All right, just you know how you
shit.
Hold your core right here. All right, now when you fit at the highest Pikachu track. He basically mind fucking.
Let's go down together.
You feel that? You feel that?
That's my dick.
That's my dick.
Now you pass it that side.
Hey, your boy white boy. That's what you doing, bitch?
All right, next question, yo.
All right, so Nick's Christmas list.
Oh, you dumb bitch.
All right, so I'm gonna get some insight. I looked at everybody's pages. I figured out what you guys may want for Christmas. Let's see if I was right.
All right, so Nick's Christmas list. Year supply of Black Miles.
What tip, nigga? What tip? Under that plastic shit.
All right, so Pelly Pal crocodile leather jacket.
You said I got no style.
All right, so Night Owl Tactical Series G11 Night Vision goggles.
After you smoke the black.
So how do you do on your Christmas list?
He thinks somebody
can steal the black. You did good with the black.
I'm 2 for 3.
I might think, yo, you do a cut.
Shit coming
Yo,
back.
come back. Ava Rex might come back.
They came back with a new
I might fuck with it.
Them big ass jackets.
But it won't be big.
I ain't never seen a full length hipster. That's the shit. My brother used to wear big ass 4X just when niggas wearing that shit too big.
Baggy shit, yeah. I do the black and miles though.
I'm 2 for 3.
All right, so 2 for 3 for Knicks. All right, so Larry's Christmas list.
Right.
All right. George Foreman, indoor, outdoor.
I left the group. This nigga basically. Let me tell you, you all doing for the electric grid. I like this shit. I have one.
You basically making me look like the uncle. You look like a grilling ass nigga.
Hey, look, it's too cold outside. Bring the goddamn grill.
Turn the motherfucker stick on.
That's 1 for 1.
I'm 1 for 1.
Turn the goddamn stick on already.
All right, so linen shirt and pants set.
Yeah, here we go.
The matching loafers.
Some more
We talking about the ones with the pennies or the nipples.
some more uncle shit, though.
And the other one is a $25 AMC movie theater.
Nigga, that's my shit. You should get me this.
That's his gift.
All that other shit is some bullshit. But I will take that AMC movie.
Goddamn right.
Another movie.
You gonna take that goddamn electric grill?
You can't do the linen set.
George Foreman grill.
Yo, outdoors. Right. Plug in electrical. That's a violation.
Take that off.
With a Frankie Beverly. That's the Frankie Beverly CD.
He out there motherfucking cooking with a fucking roll. Yeah, whoa! You can never be happy. Hey, baby, bring that ass out here. Oh, shit. And my Christmas list.
Y'all niggas slid me on the low.
That's this nigga. He's like, all right, Larry, let me know.
He's the troll of the He's the troll of the group.
We'll call me Mr. Jackson.
All right, so my Christmas list. Billy Blank's workout DVD.
No!
Hey, yo, you and you, man. That's a throwback right there. That's
You
classic.
Success Cologne for Men by Donald Trump.
That's funny.
Throw the whole dish out in the trash. And then there's paid in full what?
40-inch movie poster.
40-inch movie.
Someone came out and stuck the girl.
I definitely take that one. But yeah, that dumb
I see the Billy Blanks. He made it up for them other two jokes.
Would I be able to put like a different sticker over top of it if it say Donald Trump on there? If it smell good?
Yeah, it might.
Okay. If it smell good, I'll put a different sticker on there, but I ain't repping.
What we got? Another question? That was it.
Yeah.
One more?
One more?
Let's do one more. Thank you so much for coming on, Larry.
Oh, yeah. We have 122.
One more. Last one. This shit was good, though, before we give them shit. Like, you like Flintstones?
There was another one in there. We went through all that.
What it looking like?
No?
You still look depressing now. God damn.
No, I mean, it's not like they're bad. It's just the fact that I'm looking for one good one.
Sorry.
No? Damn, a bunch of no's?
No, it's not that I don't know which one to pick, bruh.
You know he can't read. He got the pictures. Hey, don't fuck me up, my nigga. Look. It's the running joke. You can look. You know how it
I got you.
I love you, mom. That's a good one.
Yeah, all right. I'll just go with this one. All right, so, yeah, I go by the handwriting sometimes because it was like, my shit, I'm like, nah, my question ain't never been fuck that. Not the end off one. All right, so is the best way to get someone's attention to pay them no mind?
So, the art of attraction, right? When you feeding someone, when you trying to get at them, this can even go to your career, right? Versus, you know
Why
what?
you sweating so hard, bro?
I'm in laughing. Listen, when I laugh hard, I sweat hard. My ass cheeks on fire. It's the psychology. It's the reverse psychology. But like, no, I'm gonna play back. I'm gonna let you come to me, and then in turn, thank you, God damn, I'm gonna sweat.
Like he on stage.
In turn, the attraction level will increase. Let's go to dating. It probably is the best as far as dating. A bitch, she's trying to play like a woman. She's trying to play like
I don't like that.
She's that. You hop out of her DMs. You ain't texting her every day. You doing you, and you allow her to come back to you. Is that the avenue, or do you not agree with that?
It depends on the person, of course, because that shit doesn't work with everybody. And especially if you with somebody who's worth having and they got a good sense of self-esteem. And first of all, it depends on what you want from them. If you just trying to smash, you know what I mean? But if you looking for a mate, that ain't a good, because any chick that's worth something, she not going to be, You know,
trying to change you.
And I always say this: men don't choose women; women allow themselves to be chosen.
You ain't.
So what they do is they put themselves in a situation so you can, you know what I mean, and you gotta do the rest if you want some alpha man shit.
Is that changing in 2018 though? Everything's changing right now.
I think it's becoming even more than
you think so?
How much more? They're not fucking around with us.
What they do is, first of all, if a chick look good, she got motherfucking options.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold up, we got a chick on set. Chick,
I'm gonna let say.
How do you feel? Do you want a motherfucker that's in your DM texting you, or do you like somebody to play the background and allow you to express your interest?
But you
what
said
do you prefer?
Pay no mind though.
No, I definitely want to know that they're interested.
Right, but don't be
right. Don't be
no dick pics.
Don't be a fucking.
That's
definitely no.
The only chicks that want to see your dick is probably somebody who already saw your dick.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Starting off,
yeah.
That's
you don't want to see a dick,
right?
Because now
I don't think I want to see a pussy.
Because basically, what you saying?
Unless you get the flight to come to their city, then they might be like, all right, let me see what's up with it.
Let me see that.
Unless you know what
you know who sent
the right angle. You
cats who don't have no game, and they feel like if once I show her this dick, then she's gonna be interested. And do you really want a chick that wants you just off of your dick?
Sometimes.
I guess you just want to put it in her mouth.
Because that's
if you just trying to fuck, then you're right, yeah. But if you want more, you don't want to.
But a lot of times, if a chick got any degree of sense, she not even. That's gonna turn her on.
Absolutely.
But it obviously works because niggas be doing it.
Hey Steve, you send dick pics?
Like a motherfucker.
Because if we talk,
he's the only single.
I'm mad at how you look down. Like, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I hope nobody go for my phone.
I completely believe when I run for elected office that somebody's gonna leak my shit. I have a conversation about.
But here's the beauty of that.
I'm not.
Here's the beauty of that. After Trump, who gives
you good now? Nigga said grab about a pussy, my guy.
Donald Trump is way more of an inspiration than Barack ever was.
Everybody, look, I gotta admit though, he the real nigga of the league. Like,
no, you know who he is? He the nigga white people wanted Barack to be.
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
That's who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is the nigga white people wish Barack was so they could hold it against him.
Yep.
Yeah, you were absolutely right.
Salute to that one, bro.
Because he's white, he could be all that shit.
He can do it.
Rich.
Our parents been telling us that for years. You gotta be 3 times as good to be considered equal. He a perfect example of that shit.
That's true.
Because this nigga shouldn't be third shift at fucking Rural Farms. Right. That's
what the bitch looking at though.
He said you shouldn't be trusted with the Royal Farms.
Barack was
right. You gotta go on nice.
Barack had to be a perfect motherfucker, young man.
He did.
You know he had to be perfect. And they find you.
They complain about like colors he was wearing and stuff.
That is wild. This nigga said grab him by the pussy.
That nigga
Barack didn't say shit though. It still was like, well, we fucking.
Barack came out in a tan suit on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It was riding this nigga for like 3 days. Like,
niggas can't be cool.
Yeah. Right. Like if he's on the beach with his shirt off, they're like, oh my God.
That's not presidential.
My nigga said grab him by the pussy on record.
So who? None of us.
And they let you do whatever you
want. None of us could beat Barack, right?
So we have to be Trump.
That didn't inspire me to think I could be president. Because I'm like, they're going to find something. I done had crabs.
They're going to find something.
I stole cable. You know what I mean? But after Trump, I'm like, shit. I
be president.
Right. You know who Trump is?
Trump still saw his taxes. It's been 2 years.
You know who Donald Trump is? Remember when Jermaine Dupri was fucking Janet Jackson?
Damn.
Niggas was like, yo, I could have fucked Janet Jackson.
That's so crazy.
Now we all can fuck Janet Jackson. Let's stop right there. We can all fuck Janet Jackson. Now thanks so much for coming on. Give me your handles with the next shows, etc.
Okay, I'm gonna be at Magooby's Joke House. That's 9603 Timonium, Maryland. That's the 20th through the 22nd.
9603 Deer Cove Road.
Deer Cove Road.
We gotta support
guys. And I do a 4th Thursday of the month at the Place Lounge, which he gonna come. Nick gonna come and do a set.
I'm gonna come watch first. I'm gonna watch first.
December the 27th. That's 315 West Franklin Street.
All right, shit.
Yeah. At 8 o'clock.
All right.
And so make sure y'all check me out. Also, you can catch me on WEAA with McKellar in the mornings.
How can you find your handle on social media?
Comedian Larry Lancaster.
That's on Facebook and Instagram.
And I'm Googleable.
Googleable. You can Googleable. Larry, where can they find that? If they want to reach you on the behalf of Larry to book any kind of future dates, where can they contact you at?
They can contact me at Julie Lawson King. That's Instagram. And on Facebook, it's Julie King.
Hey,
JK Management.
I need a pen real quick. Say no. You can also contact us if you got any kind of questions or concerns. Yeah, reaching your guest. Thank you so much for
having
us.
Great podcast, guys.
All right, taking us out. Make sure that y'all subscribe on YouTube and Not Safe for Ears. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and Not Safe for Ears. Make sure that you download on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. We out here, man. Make sure y'all check us out. Not Safe for Ears, and we out.